Yes.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be back with another Young Indian, part of the Voice of the Young series. Right now, we have with us Anubha Aditi Kujur. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Anubha.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. And I'm glad that we are able to meet here in this platform and share our opinion with the masses of India. As we know that this is a public platform and our voices can be heard by the people whom we don't know. So, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Anubha Aditi Kujur, and I'm from a small town of Ranchi, Jharkhand. I have completed my graduation in statistics from St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, and currently I'm pursuing my master's in biostatistics and demography from International Institute for Population Sciences, Mumbai. So I'm in the second year of my master's and here in IIPS. And very recently, in like last month only, I completed my internship. Uh, so I am here to share about all these ideas, what I have gained over uh, my personal experience journey, as well as the experiences which I have gained through the internships which I did during my like summer breaks. So first of all, I would like to introduce my from the belongingness to the place where I belong. So I have been born and brought up in a small town of Ranchi, Jharkhand. I have spent most of the education till my graduation. I completed it from Ranchi itself. So from schooling till graduation, I did all my studies in Ranchi, and then I completed my graduation in 2022, and I took a break. I was preparing for like competitive examinations as well, and after that in 2023, I joined IIPS as I had that inner feelings to like further continue my higher studies. So I joined IIPS in 2023 last year and recently completed 1 year here in IIPS.
Okay. By the way, Ranchi is not a small town.
But as compared to Mumbai, we can see like we
It's the capital of Jharkhand.
it's the capital of Jharkhand. As we know, like our state gives around 47% minerals to the whole nation. But still it is unknown. Like even after coming here also, people will be asking like, where is Ranchi? Where is Jharkhand? Like sometimes it makes us feel a bit angry also, but then we have to address them. So here our state is situated beside Bengal and like near Bihar. Ranchi is the capital of Jharkhand
Yeah.
and give all those introductions. And they
Hmm.
will be like they have different kind of stereotypes about like our place also for like Naxalism, Maoist, and obviously the tribal population. So, I belong to the Urao tribe of Jharkhand, Urao tribal community. We are among those 32 tribes which are found in Jharkhand. And as we know, Jharkhand is a greatest, quite uh, what to say, like significant share of tribal population over there, around 27% of the total population,
Mm-hmm.
and many communities reside there. So, talking about my personal family, I lost my father at the age of like 5 or 6 till then, and my mother is a single mother, and she works as a housekeeping staff in a school, and she has been parenting us like me and my sister single-handedly. So more or less it has been like my life experience has been very different, which I think the most of the youth which come here has been sharing over here. So it has been a very challenging journey for me to reach here in Mumbai. I never imagined that I will be pursuing my higher studies, that too from Mumbai. It was like a dream for me. And that I was surprised when I cracked the entrance exam and I got admitted over here for masters. So I never even imagined that I'll be going this far for my higher studies. So
how does your mother feel about it? How does your mother feel about
yes, sir?
it? How does your mother feel about it?
She is very proud of it. Like nobody from my family has ever went out for higher studies, and very less people from our community as well. Like as we know that financial or economical conditions also play a greater role in our education. As we know that in India, like education is not that accessible as we think till now to the major part of the population of India. So they are very proud of it. When they came to know, like the colleagues of my mom also, they were appreciating a lot. And her like principal of the school where she works, they were also like appreciating her, like her daughter is studying over here, so they were also proud of it when they came to know about it.
So has she come to visit you?
Yes, sir.
Has she come to Mumbai to see you?
So like they don't get like leave very easily. So I traveled here with when first of time I arrived to Mumbai, I came here with one of my friend and my younger sister, because there was nobody to accompany here. So we three of us came here, and they stayed here for 1 or 2 days, and then they went. And I have been inviting her, but since like there are so many like what to burdens upon her, so many responsibilities she has to carry, so she hasn't got the opportunities yet to come here. And like I think I'm planning like to save some of my internship stipend and call her over here once I like when we will receive the degree from here, so that I can bring her at least once.
Okay, let's continue.
And uh, so like in graduation also, like I did pursue my graduation in statistics. So what happened, like as I was like studious in the school also, but suddenly in graduation, what happened? Mathematics was my choice, like statistics was my choice, but suddenly, all of a sudden, lockdown happened, and that time I was not even having my phone also. But like due to the lockdown and all, I had to purchase a phone, and then the online classes era started, and we had to struggle a lot. And that time around my mother also used to face a lot of challenges, because they are not paid that much, like very minimal amount of salary they receive in like private sector and all. So that time around for 2 3 months her salary was also like deducted, or they didn't receive the payment. So since like 2019 or early 20s, I started taking tuitions. So before coming here also, I used to take tuitions, give tuitions to children from classes 6 to 10 to manage my expenditures. And I was able to more or less, I was able to pursue my graduation from St. Xavier's just because of with the help of this scholarship which we used to receive, or else my mother wouldn't have been able to send me for higher studies also. But she was also determined enough, like I lost my father at very early age, and she hardly had completed her education till class 10. But still, she was motivated to send us to an English medium school, which like local school and still a reputed one. But she managed to like provide a good quality education. And then after for higher studies, like government scholarships are available. So after intermediate, these scholarships have been helping us a lot to like continue my further studies. And here also in IIPS, like after completing my graduation, my education journey came to a halt. Like after 2022, I took a break. I was preparing for government exam just because in St. Xavier's College or in other colleges as well. So the fees was very high. So I was knowing that she won't be able to afford like to spend so much of like in lakhs or amount so high. So I took a break, and I used to take like 3 4 tuitions at that time, and also I used to continue my studies and also preparing for the government exams and all. So I twice appeared for SSC CJ, like cracked the prelims, but I wasn't able to crack the mains because of time shortage. It used to be very difficult for me, like juggling between tuitions and household chores and like studying also. So and then uh, after when I gave this entrance exam over here, because one of my friends said like, why you're not continuing your studies in IIPS, they to offer scholarship also for your studies, so you don't have to worry about your expenditures over there, so you can apply. So I applied for your, and I was even telling my mom that I have cleared that examination and I have to leave for Mumbai, because I was afraid like how to convince her and how she's gonna react, and all those stuffs were coming into my mind. And anyhow, I gathered some courage, and also before coming here, I was working as a data entry operator in one school. So like 2 3 months, since 2 3 months I was working there. So I quite gathered some amount of money. It's like in April we gave the entrance exam for here, and after that for May and June I was working in that school. So I was able to like save some amount also, but still I was afraid like how because in graduation during graduation time also she was afraid to send me to BHU. I cracked the entrance exam, but she was like, how will I send you alone over there? And still there was nobody to take care of the traveling and all those things and to accompany me. So she told me that you can continue your study from here only in Xavier's, like that. So I ended up in Xavier's. And then when it came to like tell her about the selection in IIPS, so I was very much afraid like how to convince her to send me so far, because before that I had never went for a vacation to some other states and all. So anyhow, I was able to convince her, and like my friends also tried a lot to convince her, and they also helped me with some of the financial helps things also, to gather basic essential things so that I can come here. So it was quite an interesting as well as challenging journey for me to be here. And since I came here, so this is for the first time I'm experiencing in the life, like I have got this whole time dedicated for me myself. Like earlier, since childhood also, it has been very difficult for me to manage my studies in household chores as well, and also the tuitions and all. Because what used to happen, my mother used to spend most of the time like outside. In morning she used to leave, and she used to come back home late in the evening. So apart from cooking and all those household chores used to be quite hectic. But still, since childhood, I used to do it. So after coming here, I was like, I have nothing to do apart from studying. So this is the time which is totally dedicated to me. So uh, it's quite experience over here also for me. Like I can spend time with me myself here. That I feel.
And your friends?
So
And your
yes, sir.
friends here in Mumbai? Have you made lots of friends? New people?
Yeah, there are friends here in Mumbai.
Have you seen Mumbai or you are too busy studying?
Luckily we have got 2 days weekend over here, so it's quite good to explore. Like there are so many places to explore. Last year also, after stepping out to Mumbai, I have been exploring many new places. Like since last 1 years, I have covered around 3 different states.
Really?
Since so first of all, like when last year I arrived, I was not able to go back to my place during vacation. So I saved like few stipend amount, and we planned a trip with my roommates to Pune. So we went there and just explored the local Mumbai, did some trekking over here. So Mumbai is like really nice place. So last year we did like lots of trekking and all. And the place over here, like here we have the freedom to be outside like till late night also, and that we can't do it at our place. I think that, and people are not that judgmental over here, I think, in Mumbai. But one thing was really like disheartening for me also, like Mumbai being the economic capital, the financial capital of India, like there is a huge economic disparity. One side, by traveling via local, it was like in the initial phases, I used to like look around the windows, like outside the windows, and just see like how different the same world, the same place can be for like two groups of different people. Like for some people it's like there is a glamorous life for them, and the other people, they have to live around in very pathetic condition with a very small spacing over there. So somewhat they are earning, but still they are not able to have that kind of a life with dignity, what we can say. I feel like that, like people dwelling in slums, even if they are able to earn like 15-20,000, they are not able to like live a life which they should be like living. So that thing was very disheartening for me when I first arrived to Mumbai. And since last 1 year, I have been exploring many new things. So first of all, why I chose the biostatistics and demography as my course was like in statistics, I was interested very much in applied statistics parts. And particularly demography, like studying about people, learning new things, like studying about population, it's how it's changed, and how migration and all those phenomena affect the population have been quite fascinating for me. So while exploring my this interest recently, like as I told that I completed my internship last month itself. So I got an opportunity to work with NFI, National Foundation for India, in their Abhijit Sen Rural Internship Program. So it is a 2-month internship starting from the induction program, and it's like field work, field research work internship. And then we have to submit our research report based on the field work done by us. So my topic as was migration. I was interested very much to study about how migration affects the left behind females who are like after the male migrate for searching for jobs and all. Though what impact does it has the left behind female? Though I conducted a survey over there. My field location was Udaipur, Rajasthan. So I spent around 1 month over there. And before this, before the NFI internship, I did one more internship with Deepak Foundation, which is in Gujarat.
Just wait. Tell us some of the findings of that research.
Okay, so my major topic was to focus on what is the impact of the migration on the left behind females, as I told. So we can see that it has largely affected the females. Like there has been an increase in the responsibilities of the females over there. Such I had my research was quantitative. I followed a mixed method approach to conduct this research to focus on both qualitative as well as quantitative data. So what all qualitative aspects I got to know was like there was a increase in burden for the females. Like earlier there were activities which were carried out by males. Those roles also have been shifted towards the females. Like it was a rural area in Udaipur, like Gogunda Tehsil, and which is a hilly area situated in the Aravalli range. And mostly it is dominated by Bhil tribe, Bhil and Gracia tribe over there, and other communities were also there. So most of the population, around 65% of the male population from that area was like migrant population. And my research finding also aligned with the Ajivika Bureau's finding with whom I was working there in field location. Ajivika Bureau is also very famous NGO which is working for the like in the field of migration. They are working to ensure like safe migration of the rural people to the urban cities. So my major finding was like increase in workloads. There was feminization of agriculture, as we know, like when the male people migrate, so in their so it was a seasonal migration. But what used to happen, that seasonal migration was not driven by rainy like rainy or agricultural season. It was driven by like whenever the school used to open, these people used to go to work in hostels and hotels and restaurants, and they used to work as kitchen helpers and all those things. So and these women were left behind, and majorly they used to like in hilly, it is a hilly area, so they used to cultivate crops like maize and bajra. So what used to happen, like nowadays the agricultural practices have been influenced by some sort of like mechanization of agriculture, like plowing and all can be carried out by the tractors and all those things. So they don't need the male partners over here. So these women only used to work in the field, like sowing the seeds, deciding what seed to sow in the field. They will be going to take the manures and seeds from the block office, and they are solely responsible from sowing to from weeding and then harvesting the crops and all. And also, like they were fully responsible for it. And then like how it affected the increase in workload. So what used to happen, like when I talk to the females whose husband were all, living there, and like compared my findings with those whose husbands were migrant and of those whose husbands were living with them. So what used to happen for the females whose husbands were there living along with them, so generally the male partners used to do the marketing. They used to buy the groceries, food items, and like other necessary commodities from the markets and all. And like all sorts of work which is required to be done in the like agrarian rural economy. And what used to happen to the females of the like migrant family, they will be looking after the children, they will be looking after all the house chores, and then after they have to carry responsibilities which earlier was carried by out by their husbands. So if there is like their husband and all, they used to have like ask for bike and all from the neighbors, and they used to perform all the like activities like marketing and all. But now since there was no male partner at their home, so they used to carry all those activity apart from their like traditional roles which have been like performed, which are being performed by the women. And uh, another like what to say, it also affected the psychological behavior of a woman, as in rural areas or in general also in Indian population. What happens when a female like a married couple, if the husband is the migrant, uh, woman is not able to speak up about her problems or her challenges or something to her in-laws and all. In traditional families, generally these females either live with their husbands or like either live with their in-laws or with their children and all those things. So even they can't even share their problems, all the problems to the children. And if, at in joint family, the problem used to worsen a lot. Like they can't even share it to their in-laws and also children. And it used to affect their mental health. Like they have to wait for their husband. And for some families where they didn't had access to phone and all, it was very difficult for them to communicate and share about the challenges and all those things also. And now with the like intervention of mobile phones and all, they are able to communicate, so at least it has aided the mental stress, we can say. So like
Okay,
these were
good.
the few findings I mentioned over here.
Okay, but didn't the income
And
matter? The extra income. The extra
extra income. So what these females, huh, as I told, like they have to like their husbands are also working. They have to look after the children, and lot of the female around 50 to 53% females also worked as farm laborers and in Manrega as laborers. So most of them had job cards and all, and they used to work in Manrega also. And if not in Manrega, they used to work as farm laborers in the fields of other people, like we can say the large landowners or the people who are doing job outside. So they are not able to give time to this agriculture activity. So these women used to work in those fields so that they can earn at least something and contribute in their household. Because what happens for sometimes the husband now with the like as I told, intervention phone has become that intervention which has enabled a lot of changes. So sometimes their husband used to send money directly into their accounts, or sometimes since now phone is accessible, so they will like phone pay it, or through the phone pay and all they can. Nowadays they are able to provide money like monthly or whenever they will ask for it. And by their in personal income also, they have been able to carry out a lot of activities, like at least for buying like groceries, vegetables and all. They were very like excited to tell that they are now being able to spend on their own also, like now they can now they are able to earn, and as well as their husband is also earning, so they are able to spend on themselves also to buy clothes and all. And there was one positive change which I can mention, that somewhat we can say that it has empowered the women also, as they are becoming solely responsible to carry out the household act, like to monitor the household, and they are solely responsible for they are becoming the head of the household. So they clearly accepted is that whenever I used to ask that who is the head of the household, they responded, yes, it's me. So, and major decisions also they have been able, like even if we see like buying seeds and all by themselves, deciding what to sow in the field, and where to spend the money, and all these factors we can assess, like if there is a male person living there in the family, he will be dominating and making all those decisions, that where this amount of money is going to be spended and all. But in these families, like most of the decisions were taken by these females itself.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Let's continue.
So like before this, like I did another internship with Deepak Foundation. So there it was also a short internship for like 1 month period. So it was also an NGO, and my major role over there was monitoring and evaluation. Like, and I did the data analysis and prepared like. I did the comparative study for the demographic surveillance study over there. So it was also a nice experience. But like in comparison, this fieldwork part was like really a wonderful experience for me. I enjoyed like working with them, going to the field and work with the people over there.
Okay.
There has been a lot of memories from this like field work, I can say. The people were so welcoming. First of all, I was afraid to go there. Like in Rajasthan, I was also having that skeptical thought, like how the people will be behaving, or like I was that stereotype of Rajasthan that people there are very strict and all. But when I went there, it was like Udaipur, first of all, was very beautiful. The temperature was also very nice than in as compared to Delhi, because before that there was a induction workshop in Delhi, and the temperature was as high as 48 and 49 degree. And when I went to Udaipur, the temperature was around 36, 35. So I was surprised that it's Rajasthan, it's comparatively less hotter than Delhi.
Okay.
And people were also very welcoming.
How are let's shift from fieldwork to your courses. How are the courses?
Yes, sir.
How are the courses at IIPS? The classes?
Basically, ours is like, we can say a course which is a mixture of biostatistics and demography. So in demography, we study like the most of the qualitative part from the demography section for population projections. There are paper like fertility, mortality, and migration, how they affect the demographic changes. And we learn about different population theories. There are paper for that also. And in biostatistics, we learn about advanced biostatistics. And also currently we are studying about survival analysis. And these are the new stuffs which we are learning over here. And I think this will be very much helpful in building a career out of it. It's very interesting. Before this, at the earlier place, I was not that much acquainted with so many software. So after coming here, we got hand in hand with about 5 to 6 softwares, which were earlier, I was afraid to use them, like Stata, R, Python. So I was like, this coding things and all, they make us afraid sometimes. But now when we are working with the large scale data and all, we are so familiar. And IIPS has made us so familiar with this large scale data, like NFHS data, census data, and all those things. Now we are like, yes, we can do anything. We can work, give us the data, and we can do anything with that.
Wonderful.
So we have been taught like many software, Stata, SPSS, R, Python, then CS Pro, which helps us to with the fieldwork part, like preparing questionnaire and all those stuffs, and then spectrum and all for population projections, and many more things we learn from here. So this is the place which gave me exposure to so many technical things, I can say. Because before that, I was only acquainted with C, C++, and nothing more than that.
Okay.
And IIPS gives us the, even if you don't have your personal laptops and all, we can access the IC unit from there, and use the facility to do our assignments and all those stuffs. So it has been a really wonderful experience over here, I can say.
Continue, please.
Okay, I thought you were asking about something.
No, I'm not asking anything.
Okay. So, yes.
Okay, let me ask, okay, what kind of jobs do people, your seniors, get?
We are having a lot of opportunity. It depends on us, what kind of opportunity we are seeking. If we want to be a technical person, we can work as a data analyst in a pharmaceutical companies and all, like Pfizer and all. They come for placement over here. Many of us, our seniors, are working in such companies who want to choose biostatistics as their main goal or main purpose, so that we can do survival analysis and all, and we can perform the clinical trials and cohort study. And if some of them are those who are interested in the development sectors, so they can, they have been contributing and have been giving their services in development sectors. There are many NGOs. So majorly, role of monitoring and evaluation is very much common, and also research assistant and associates.
So what is your thinking?
I am planning to, as my interest, as coming from, I have been facing a lot of challenges and all those things. So frankly speaking about my plan, so since childhood, I have been planned to work as a civil servant, but all because of financial constant and all this thing, my main my desires came to a halt right now. So what now I am thinking is to contribute towards the development sector in my near future. I think that now, after gaining so much of experience and all, I think this was discovering myself. I discovered that I am interested toward the development sector. My interest is aligned with working with the people, working for the people, understand their problems, and like after studying from IIPS, after being trained in so much of like things and theories and like statistics and all those things, I think like I can play a greater role if I get a role of like in some development sector. I can contribute a lot over there, as I think I can understand the problems and the challenges of the people, which will further help in like policy making and all those things. I want to study people, and I just want to dwell among themselves so that I can like bring whatever challenges and problems they are facing, and explore like possibilities of in like explore the possibilities computing for them. I think like after coming from like indigenous and tribal society, I think like it becomes our responsibility that if we are coming from some backward community, and if we are able to make ourselves a better personality in the world, like then we should at least think for the people who are left behind, and we should make like significant contribution to the people who are still who are not having access to the basic necessities like education and all those things. So like in near future, I am thinking to secure a job in development sector, and my later plans are work in the direction so that I can make a significant change in the society by contributing to the betterment of the people who are like deprived, and work to with them so that I can also be the one who can bring change to the lives of these people who have who are like marginalized, and those with the very minimum opportunities. So these are what I have been and I have been like discovered like my interest and all after coming here.
Okay, wonderful. Anything else you want to add here?
Lastly, I would like to say that we should be very like thankful. Like if you are in some position, be thankful for whatever thing we have received, either from our parents or from God, because I have seen like our youths, my friends or my closer ones complaining about things like we don't have this, we don't have that. So first we should be thankful for wherever, whichever place we are. We should think like God has gifted a lot of things, and I think we should make better utility out of it and be the one who can bring change. At least if we are gaining so much of things from the society, if we are getting opportunity, we are not just here in the world to earn and live a luxurious life or just we should, yes, that is necessity, we should look after our needs and all, but at last I think we should rethink like what is our role, what we are doing, what we can do for the society to make our society a better place to live in. Like our youth, as we know that youth is very, our younger generation is very much powerful. We are the we are going to be the leaders of the nation. We can bring a lot of change in the world by our ideas, by our thoughts. So we should not just waste our opportunities which we are having in useless things or overthinking and all. We should be thankful for wherever we are and make the better use of opportunities, whatever opportunities we're having, whichever field we are working. We should give our 100% so that we can make the society a better place to live in.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to say?
Like about?
Okay, never mind. If you're say, I don't choose the topic. It's your choice. If you have something else to say it.
As of now, currently, like.
Okay. All right, good. Let me say something now. I'm going to say two things. Okay. First, what you've done is very impressive. You are the face of new India, modern India. It's very good. It's a very good face. I'm so happy and so impressed by what you have done, what you have achieved, and what you're hoping to do. But even more importantly, I'm proud of your mother. She made you what you
Yes,
are.
sir.
That is the real India. So please thank her. Please thank her.
Yes, sir.
Okay? That is my request to you. Please thank her.
I'm very much thankful for my mother who has given me this opportunity, who made me able to be like, who made me empowered to speak in front of people, who made me able to stand with in equal positions with all of them, like all of the people who come from like different various like economical backgrounds. See, like if it would not been her perseverance, her patience and dedication, then I wouldn't have been able to reach here, the place where I am, and the place I think I'll surely secure some better position in my new future. And it will all be because of her dedication and her role in my life and her willingness to work for us. Like she has been a very hardworking lady. She has been working a lot for us day and night, and still I was afraid to leave her behind because after coming here, I was my younger sister, how she will be able to manage all those things and all, and still they are able to do good over there. And I think I'm I want to I want to secure a better future for them, not only for myself but for them,
Okay, all right.
so that like she can reap the fruits of her hard work after I become successful and achieve something in my life.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Anubal. This is very good to listen to you. Let's end it here. I'll be back. Let's say bye to everybody. I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Bye till then. Bye, everybody.
Everyone.